So hi, welcome to Good Noise Podcast with Mark from the New Aquarian. We're going to ask some questions today. I'm going to start. So what inspired you to start the project, and what does the project name mean?
So I started the project around the end of 2018. It was some other projects I was playing with at the time were sort of coming to an end, and I decided to pursue more of a solo kind of focused thing, I guess, as it happens. and hey, what's up? And the name actually comes from my own zodiac signs and stuff. The Aquarius is my rising sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's sort of evolving into that. So the New Aquarian.
Okay. So that's cool. I haven't had somebody say that they incorporated their zodiac signs. That's really cool. All right.
Yeah, it's a little misleading. It makes people think I'm an Aquarius. I'm a Scorpio, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. That's cool. So congrats on your upcoming release, Blackwater Blue. How do you feel in response to it so far, since at the time of release, it isn't out yet?
It's so a lot of those, I sent you guys about half the album that I have a good mix on so far. I'm actually planning on finishing up vocals later today once we're done here. But it's got really good response so far. Most of the stuff I've played live and on tours in the past, and they were just recently recorded with the full band, and this album's actually going to be the first that I've done like with my full band in the studio.
Yeah, that's huge. Congrats. That's crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be a good time, and it's like I said, this sort of started as a solo project. Like my first two albums, it was pretty much just me. But from then on, as we've played live and I've gotten more people involved in it, it's sort of become more of a collaborative effort.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
So where was your headspace, or where was your writing process for this album?
So this one, it's like I said, it's evolved and become more of a collaborative effort. So this one was a lot more freeform jams that sort of came together as the band came together, as opposed to things I had written alone in the past.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That was it?
Yeah, I mean, okay. It was a very simple process with this one. I wish I had more to say, but it was just a lot of time spent together as a group, a lot of hours in the band together, sort of brainstorming.
Okay. Well, then, how did it change, like, from your solo project writing to, like, this more collaborative effort that you have going now?
I think it's definitely, it feels more free and less confined to genre. Like, in my head, when I'm thinking of songs, I tend to start thinking of a genre. And with these, it's more of the vibe of the band. We always say that we're more than a technical thing. We're more of a feelings kind of band. We're going for just a general emotion in the things that we put forward. And because of that, we tend to be more of a live band too. So that's kind of what we've tried to capture with the recordings as a full group.
Okay, solid. So can you tell me where your headspace was while sorry, my dog. Can you tell me where your headspace was?
We actually just gave my cat some catnip, so she's freaking out just behind the computer right now.
Wait, what's your cat's name?
Her name is Emrys, but we call her Emmy.
Oh, Emmy, that's so cute. Sorry. Anyways, where was your headspace while creating this collection of songs?
This one, it's bounced all around because this album is one of the first that I haven't done all at once. So the most of the full band tracks were recorded back in February when we were still traveling around together a lot and spending time together as a group. As quarantine came on, I started writing a lot more acoustic songs. So some of the more acoustic driven ones I've just recorded here in the last few months. And altogether, it's really sort of, I guess it's been tracking how my... Sorry, computer was telling me something weird. All right, yeah, it's been tracking how my mindset's been evolving throughout this whole wild year, I guess.
Okay, so it's almost like a diary of sorts.
Diary, yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it from that angle until now, but that's pretty accurate, I think.
Yeah, that is so cool. Yeah.
Thank you, and I try to keep to a schedule of at least two album releases a year, amongst other singles and stuff. So it's sort of going to be the closing one for this year.
Yeah,
do you
that's
ever
a lot.
Sleep?
Yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to have a home studio, and a studio that I sort of run. So when I'm not recording or mixing other people, I pretty much have free reign to do what I want to do, which is really freeing. And like I said, it really lets me have that sort of constant output of new music, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that's
So this question should be
Yeah.
like super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words.
Oh man. So I think Freeform's probably a good one, just because, like I said, that's sort of been our approach to writing it. Freeform, there's a lot of blues influence, just because that's what's been in my head the past year or so.
yeah.
Freeform psychedelic kind of blues, I guess.
Freeform sex. That's cool. That's a good one. Good one.
You know, we just kind of make whatever we're feeling at the time.
Yeah. All right. Solid. So where do you see the project in the next 5 years?
Oh man, hopefully back on the road. Touring is our bread and butter, and we're down here all spread across North Carolina. I'm in Greenville. Two of us are in Greenville right now. One's out at the beach in Havelock, and one's up in Raleigh. So we it's always nice to be able to come together and do some traveling as a group. We're all big fans of traveling as well as performing. So the combination of it, you know, it really it's nice to get away.
Yeah, definitely.
So for the last couple questions, we'll actually shift away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death
All right.
row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh man. Well, if we're talking death row here, I think the drink would have to be a gin and tonic or something of that nature. And meal, just a good, like, I'm a vegetarian, so I'd have to go with a solid
Same.
like bean and potato taco, something like
Ooh.
that.
That is
Yeah. Taste. All right. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh man. Not to get on a tangent or anything, but I'm a huge fan of fantasy, and I write a little bit myself, so that's a really tough one. For me, it would probably be a choice between the Dragonlance setting from Dungeons and Dragons or Middle Earth, just because, you know, like, it doesn't get much more classic than that.
Yeah.
solid.
That's a,
So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to has said it's the most important
All right.
question. What is your favorite color?
That's tough. I tend to say green. It fluctuates some, but I can't really give you a reason either. I think green just kind of it resonates with me. The few times I've had people talk about my aura, it's been green, and that was after I decided it was my favorite color. So I think there's some kind of correspondence there, maybe.
yeah.
It's meant to be. So as I said, that is all the questions we have today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
You know, like you guys said, I've got the new record coming out on November 28th. I've got a single off of that coming out in a few days. Other than that, you know, support your local communities as much as you can. Support your local scenes. And thanks so much for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Of course,
Thank
yeah.
you for coming on. This has been Mark from the New Aquarian, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.